I just sat in oil. Oh. So now that we have both our forks, I think we can put them back on. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna do what I did last time. I'm gonna stick this screwdriver in it. Just a flathead. Not even gonna bend it. I'm just gonna stick it straight in just to widen that just a hair. Cause man, that was tough. And then I'm gonna shove this up in it. And, oh, we need to tighten that before that's why I didn't do that. Okay, cool. Now we're good. So now I'm gonna shove this up in here. Make sure we're, wait, what? And we're gonna go right there. Okay, that's holding steady. I'm just gonna let it sit there. I do have a piece of wood in case it does fall down. All right, so this goes up here. Needs to come up 3/4 of an inch. Needs to come up a little bit, just a tiny bit higher. That's about where we were at. We'll call it a day. I like that. Could use a stance that's a little higher. I wonder if you can adjust this at all. If anything, we're further that way than we are this way. We're further down than we were up, but I think that's fine. Okay, those are tight. I put the right one on the right side? Yeah, I did, I think. Brake goes on this side. Brake goes on the left side, right? Right, okay. Okay, there's the 12. Got my fork, got my screwdriver. Now I know that we can do the screwdriver trick. Okay, so let's just unscrew this all the way on this side. It'll make it so much easier. It's funny how tight these tolerances are. There we go. All right, now we need this to be, exactly the same to the other one. So we're gonna measure, make sure we're 3 and exactly the same. All right, that's perfect. That's exactly where I want to be. Whew, okay. Take the 12 mil, and we're going to tighten up this bottom one first. And this one's easy because there's nothing in the way. It's tight. Okay, we got that tight. Now we need to do some cleaning. We need to make sure that these are nice and clean. So I'm going to clean them, and we'll be right back and put everything together. Okay, we need to wrap this up. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to put this back on. We still have both of the bolts. Great. And we're going to Loctite these. These were so tight before. I think this was a 6, right? Just gonna do a little bit of tightening, make it nice and tight with that lever. That should be plenty good. Okay, gonna grab one of these. Got my glove on. Now gonna put some lithium grease on this axle. Make sure it's nice and greased up. What are we also going to grease? We're going to grease something else. What was it? It was this thing, yeah. I wanted to grease this because it seems like it's a moving part and it could use some grease in here. So I'm going to throw some grease in here and let it do its thing. I'm not going to pack it, obviously. Just going to make it so it's nice and, because there's like a gasket in here and stuff. Just want to make sure it's pliable, that it can move around. And now we can put on our tire. I'm going to stick the rotor in before I even lift this up. Okay, it's in, and I'm starting to screw it in, I think. Yeah, there you go. It's getting a little hard to screw in. This is where I need like torque specs and things. Oh, look what I did wrong. I'm missing a very important piece. That's hilarious. Don't do that. Did this come on the outside? It did, didn't it? Ah, just got messy. Okay, we're back in somewhere. Let's see if we can catch that again. I think we're screwing in. Yeah, I think we are. So our wheel's on. We've got the safety thingy back on, the axle, 65 Newton meters. Now we need to put everything else on. So from here on out, I'm just putting everything back together. It's not that exciting. We really just have the handlebars to put back on, and we have the front fork pre-tension screws that we need to screw back together. I did check the top of the forks once I got them back in the triple clamp to make sure that I had them tight enough so those top bolts wouldn't come out before I put in those pre-tension screws, those little screws that go in the top of the forks. And then really from there, that's it. You've got your forks on, you've got your axle back on, you've got your wheel back on. One thing that I would recommend is to pump your forks a few times before you tension down that pinch bolt in the front. You want to make sure that you have smooth action and that you don't have a twisted triple clamp where one of your forks is forward and the other one's behind. So make sure that you pump it a few times before you really tighten down that pinch bolt and get it to spec. But really, that's it. So we'll just kind of fly through the rest of this. So I ended up sitting in oil at the very end of this. Make sure your workspace is clean it up as you go, or else you'll be sitting in oil like me. This one's been quite a bit longer, but I did want to make this longer form type of video, even if it was just me bumbling around. Just so, one, so I could refer to it if I ever needed to again. But two, I didn't really see anything like this on the internet. People kept cutting and cutting and cutting, and I wish they had just rolled a little bit longer because I wanted to see how they were either struggling with it or just putting something together since I'd never done anything like this. So thanks for watching with me, and I'll see you in the next one. I just sat in oil. Oh, that's not good. That is not good. Look at that. Got oil all over me. I fell over and landed in this oil. Okay, well, that's it, guys. Clean up your oil, guys. All right. Thanks for watching.